Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X-Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X-Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X-Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X-Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hyde's life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking. Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hyde can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com. Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We are so thankful that you would join us today. We've got a really fun show for you today, actually full of some really fascinating topics. We're going to be talking about numerology a little bit later with our guest today. And Cindy, you've had some really powerful experiences in working with numerology and letting it be a part of assisting you in your business and business growth. Are you excited about today's show or what?
I am really excited about today's show, and Melanie does an amazing job of putting together information based on your numbers. And so I'm really looking forward to it because I snuck your numbers to her in advance.
Oh, really? Okay. Little surprise for me as well.
Are you ready to be exposed?
Yes, apparently. Apparently I don't have any choice today.
No, I just really think that any information that we can gain to help us on our path is knowledge that's what can be well used in our journey.
Absolutely. I'd like to actually talk a little bit today about some of the kind of a related topic. Today I want to talk a little bit about meditation, actually, and what kind of role it's played in development for many people who are in business, actually. You know, there's a study, a kind of a big meta study. It was in the Journal of American, the JAMA, and it was all about how meditation affects anxiety, depression, and pain levels. And they found across the board that meditation assisted in those three areas: anxiety, depression, and pain. And in my own personal experience, I have found the exact same thing. It seems that the more meditation I do, the better I am as far as having more energy, being able to deal with more stress, not having any anxiety, feeling much happier in general, and also having a severe reduction in pain for any old kind of nagging injuries that are kind of hanging around. Is that something you've experienced too, Cindy?
Well, you know, I had a very valuable lesson in my teenage years from my grandmother. She was helping me get my first apartment ready when I was about 18, and I was taking a break, and I was so tired because we've been doing, you know, everything to get this little apartment all ready to be moved into, and she looked at me with her big swollen arthritic knees, and she said, "Cindy, what are you doing?" And I said, "Graham, I'm taking a break. I'm so tired. I was working a full-time job, going to college full-time, and I was just beat." She says to me, "Cindy, tired is in your mind. If you think you're tired, you're going to be tired. Now get your bleep up and help me."
You know, it's funny. Since you told me that story, Cindy, I just got to tell you something. I always think about that. If I ever think to myself that I'm tired, I always think about your grandma immediately.
Oh, my gosh. She was like 80-something, hands and knees, doing everything with me, and she's the one motivating me to get up and work. And to be honest, I have never been tired a day in my life because I always go there, and I always think about her. I see her in my mind, and I've never been tired.
That's just amazing.
I know.
Amazing.
So that is exactly what meditation can do for people because, you know, that's always my go-to, and now it's your go-to so that you can, you know, get a hold of yourself and charge forward with all that newfound energy. And I think it's very similar to meditating because as you know, we've both written meditations and recorded, and it's just so powerful that we just don't even know what our minds can do until you take them for a little spin.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've talked about different meditations in the past. You know, we've talked about some really kind of interesting things. So I'd studied theta healing. I guess I started around 6 years ago. So I learned a very specific style of meditation as well as how to use it for increasing your energy level, how to, again, pain reduction, literally getting over illnesses and healing the body and healing the mind as well. And some of those practices have paid off so tremendously. And it just kind of boggles my mind how meditation has helped in so many different areas. You've got all those things we talked about: anxiety, depression, pain management. Also, just the idea of kind of clearing off the mind so that the mind can focus, especially when you're an entrepreneur, especially when you're a business owner, especially when you're distracted by a million different things. I tell you, it pays tremendous dividends.
Well, you know, we have so underestimated our brain power. I have another story to share. When I was getting a crown, and I have had this needle phobia my whole life, and, you know, the degree of the phobia comes and goes, but the day I had to have this crown, it was on high alert, and I could not take a needle. And so the dentist says to me, because I told him, I said, "Why don't you try it without the Novocaine?" He says, "Okay, so if you feel any pain, you just pat my arm." And I said, "Doc, if I feel any pain, you're going to be feeling it too." So there'll be no patting going on here. And so he did it without Novocaine, and I didn't feel a thing. And he looked at me in wonder after he finished the crown, and he says, you hypnotized yourself. And I said, well, that would be quite a feat since I don't have any idea how to do that. I just knew there was no possible way I was getting a shot today.
Mm.
So my point in sharing this is that the mind is truly the last frontier of understanding, because we don't even know our limitations when it comes to our mind.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. And, I'm really actually looking forward to us talking about not just the mind today, but about numerology. And, actually this is a concept and a practice, I guess, that I don't really have a lot of experience in. But I know that leaders around the world have been practicing it. I know they utilize it. I know that it's even been utilized by the military to help coordinate days of attack. I mean, I've heard stories about it my entire life, but never spent any time really looking into it or learning anything about it. Do you think that has a lot to do with the mind as well? Do you think that the two are related?
I know that mathematics has to do with just about everything, and numbers are the foundation of mathematics. And so, of course, the mind has everything to do with it. I mean, look at the early days of when our calendar was first made by was it the Aztecs? Who was that?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, whoever made our calendars the first time, they used mathematics and the sun and astronomy. And I mean, all that's connected to us and our world. So I think it's fascinating. And I can't wait, which is why I invited Melanie to join us today. I can't wait for her to share her knowledge on what that all means and how we can use it in our daily lives.
And I know if there's one thing that we like to talk about and kind of hit on, in addition to the concepts of meditation and how they sometimes bridge the gap between what we know, what we think we know, and what we're going to know in the future. We like to spend some time talking about how that can impact your business life. And specifically, how does that happen?
That's exactly right, because many times we don't even know our own strengths. And what I mean by that is your numbers could say that you are really astute in this area, and it may be an area that you haven't developed yet. So once you learn that is something within your energy system of numbers, that you should be developing that because it's one of your strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny.
If you think about it, none of us knew anything when we first got here to the world. And so every single thing that we are, know, and do is what we've learned.
Yes, and there's, sometimes it really takes an expert from the outside taking a look at us and seeing, using based upon the knowledge that they have and their level of expertise, them being able to help decipher what talents and traits that we have. And it happened to me as a singer to be able to move into opera. Same thing. I had no idea it was even a possibility until someone who really understood opera had a chance to influence me to tell me that was indeed the case. It's the same thing when it comes to meditation, or whether it comes to using any of the psychic arts and developing them. It's the same thing. Sometimes it really takes that outside person to help you get started.
And that's exactly why everybody needs to have a coach or business consultant, because we cannot see our blind spots or our undeveloped areas that will take us to be able to achieve our purpose here and what we should be doing.
Yes, and when you say what we should be doing, that's something we're going to be talking about in the next two segments as well. Kind of the idea of finding what our path is, what's really important to us, and then once we figure it out, how to get on it. Sometimes that's a challenge, and then, of course, once you're on it, how to stay on it, because, there's plenty of distractions between the beginning and the end of any journey, right?
Well, here's what I've learned is that it's not so hard to get to the top. What's hard is to stay there or get to an even higher level. That's the challenge.
Well, you know what I like to say, living here in Las Vegas, when you lose somebody in one of the casinos, you can't find them, you don't know where they are. The joke is, there's a lot of bright, shiny objects between wherever they are and wherever they were. So it's really easy to get lost. And sometimes getting where you need to be can be more difficult because of the distractions.
Well, this week it's bright, shiny, flying mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah, we got grasshoppers this week. That's right.
Oh, that's right. It's grasshoppers. I just thought this week's mosquitoes for sure. But, oh, my gosh, who knew?
Yeah. If you want to check out something kind of fun, take a look at the videos online of the grasshopper invasion of Las Vegas. It's actually kind of over the top. It's more than I was ready for. But do stick around. The next little segment, we're going to be hearing from Melanie Channell, who's a certified spiritual counselor and tarot reader, as well as a numerologist. And we're going to be focusing on her numerology work that she does. She's also a Reiki Master. She does work with crystals and with angels. And she's a published co-author of 3 Amazon #1 bestsellers, including Heart and Soul, Living a Love-Filled, Spirit-Guided, Consciously Creative Life, Reading Between the Signs, and Warrior Women with Angel Wings. So if you want to stick around, we'll be back in just a moment on the Imagine More Success radio show. How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hyde's life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking. Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hyde can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com. Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. In our previous segment, we had Melanie Channell on with us. We've been talking about numerology. And earlier, Melanie, we were saying that, there's not as massive a predetermination surrounding numerology as many people like myself had basically thought that there were. And so you're giving us some enlightenment there. Whenever I think of numerology, I also think of it as being like numbers and brain-driven. But how do the feelings and emotions of a human being get tied into numerology?
Feelings and emotions. It helps people to learn to trust themselves, to trust their feelings.
Is it about validation, about finding validation that when they have feelings that there's evidence that those feelings are in fact real?
Yes, and they're valid. Yes.
Got it.
And it also can be very healing.
How so?
People. Well, because sometimes if you're so say that you have some of the numbers are not compatible with each other. Okay, so if you have core numbers that aren't compatible with each other, you're going to be fighting yourself a lot. And so then if you understand, that you have these numbers and what they're about, then you're going to understand, well, this is why I'm fighting myself, and is there another way that I can get through this without the fight? Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. Whenever you're working with people, do you spend a lot of time in observation of how they are on the outside compared to what they're telling you? Do you often see a difference there? Kind of like their body language or voice compared to the words that they're actually using when they're communicating their experiences?
Yes, I do look at body language. I also know how to face read a little bit. And but I check in on how I'm feeling because I'm very intuitive. And if I'm feeling that something's wrong, I'm going to ask them questions to get a little bit more feedback. Because sometimes what people are saying isn't what I'm feeling from them. So
could you expand just a little bit on the numbers that are not compatible?
Okay, let's see. Odd numbers are people who are more individualistic. Okay, so you're kind of introverted. You're more about yourself. Okay, and then the even numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8. Those are more about being more people-oriented. I'm not saying that you're not going to be people-oriented at all if you're a 1 or a 3, but that's kind of how it's based. So the 1 and the 2 are almost complete opposites in their personalities. Okay, so the 1 is, they're very fast. They want everything now. They're about themselves. They're somebody who would be like a leader in Job's and somebody like that who's a pioneer, a very, pioneering person. And then the 2 is somebody who's going to be a little bit more shy, but they really need to have a relationship with somebody, whereas the 1 can be by themselves.
And is this the life path number you're referring to?
It could be any of the core numbers. So we have a life path number, the destiny number, the birthday number, and then the soul number. The soul number is what your soul wants to learn in this lifetime.
When you're working with people, do they often come to you specifically for help with, say, their personal life, or do they often come to you as well for business purposes?
Both. I get both. But a lot of people do come to me for personal life, yes.
When you're with someone in their personal life, do you usually have are there very specific goals that they're looking for, or are they looking more for answers? Like they don't really know what they're looking for when they come to you?
Usually they already know what they're looking for when they come to me.
Gotcha.
Like if they want a compatibility report, with their husband, or say they're not getting along with their husband or wife, and they come to me and say, hey, I'm going to give you my husband's numbers and his name, and can you do a compatibility report? And a lot of times you'd be surprised.
Like what?
I'll bet they're not surprised, though.
No, not really. But if you meet somebody, if you're single and you meet somebody and then, get that done beforehand, then it, actually might help you to steer clear if you had to.
Gotcha.
Yes, what a great idea.
And in business, what sort of work do you find that helps your clients most? Is it kind of a prediction for maybe where a trend is, or helping them choose which product is going to be most valuable to their company? Or is it kind of choosing business partners to work with?
I mean, business partners, who to partner up with. Also, I've had people ask me, about when they're moving their company to a different address, because you also can have, people will want, to know what the numerology is on their address. Say, if you had an address that was a 4, that would mean that you'd had to work extra hard in order to keep your business going. If you had an 8, or, something like that, then you'd probably, want to be in an 8 address, because that's very business-like.
Wow, I'm so excited. The number on my office is 1100.
Okay.
Pretty cool, huh?
Well,
Master number.
2 for 11, yes. Mm-hmm. That would be 11. So that's a very high vibration number.
Well, it feels like it here, so that's pretty cool to know.
When you're working with your clients, do you also find that there's kind of like a big aha moment where they first learn kind of the concepts behind how numerology works for them, and then they see it play out, and then they see it play out multiple times? Yes,
I do, and it's quite funny, because I've taught people numerology too, and after they learn numerology, they start seeing number sequences everywhere. And you can I actually read them. So when I see like license plates, that have triple digits, and I'll see them on the way home, they do the same thing now. I've taught some people how to do that. And so they actually do reading, because to me, it's your guides giving you information on what to do next.
Cool.
Interesting.
Melanie, tell us a little bit about the giveaway that you have for the listeners today.
Okay, I have a MP3. It's a number speak meditation that I'd like to give away.
Cool. And the best way for them to get it is sending an email? Yes.
Send me an email. That would be Melanie_Channell. That's MELANIE _Channell, CHANNELL @yahoo.com.
Melanie_Channell @yahoo.com. So tell us a little bit about your number speak meditation. What was your inspiration for it?
It just came to me. Actually, I had written some. I had started writing a book, and I had made some cards, some numerology cards. They're called the anyway, the number speak oracle cards, and on them they have affirmations written on them. So I took the affirmations and colors for some of the card numbers that I had, and used that for my meditation. I've been writing meditations for a few years, but anyway, it's about the numbers and their energies. And it really helps you understand what the energies are, and I put them with the colors of your chakras.
Oh, cool.
So, Melanie, how can people connect with you to be able to get their numerology report or any of the other wonderful things that you provide?
Well, you can reach me by going to my website at www.heartworksnow.com, or you can email me at Melanie_Channell @yahoo.com.
Well, and I can share with our listeners today out there that Melanie does an awesome job on a numerology report, and I was just blown away with the information given, and I think you will be too. So check her out, and she's got a beautiful website, too, by the way.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about discovering your inner truth and your purpose, she's got some really fantastic packages available to help you with energy healing, life purpose readings, crystal healings, as well as working with you on the very topic we were talking about today, your personal numerology, how it can help you both in your business and in your personal life. Melanie, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So again, if you want to check out Melanie, you want to go to heartworksnow.com. If you want to check out some of our previous episodes, you can go to imaginemoresuccess.net, where you can find all of our previous episodes with some really fun, great facts, as well as tons of entertaining interviews and commentary. And if you want to learn more about our courses, you can go to findhiddenmoney.com. But if you want to stick around with us for just a moment, we'll be back after a quick word from our sponsors, and you're going to learn a lot more about a lot more things on the next segment. Please stay tuned. How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hides can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hides' life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking.
You are back on the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. In our previous segment, we were just talking with Melanie Channell, who was giving us some really great information on numerology and how it can affect you and your business and your personal life. And Cindy, you know, again, a topic I didn't really know a lot about prior to today's show, and definitely had some great learning from Melanie.
Hey, boss.
Come on now, I'm going to start calling you boss.
Hey, I knew you had it in you. We just didn't know it yet, right?
Apparently.
In charge, Thomas Hides. I love that.
That's scary. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we're going to be investigating that.
That's pretty funny.
I know.
Funny.
Isn't Melanie an amazing gal? I just think that she's just so knowledgeable, and her information is so on target for all of us today that are trying to, you know, be our best selves and live our purpose and share what we've learned.
Yeah, you know, that's a huge topic with a lot of people that I talk to, because people get so, you know, you're so caught up in working hard, paying bills, or trying to get ahead, or keeping what you have, or growing your family, or taking care of your kids, or whatever it is. I mean, there's just a million different things. And sometimes once we finally have a chance to stop, that idea of like, what am I doing, really hits hard. And then, you know, you feel like, well, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time here. I should be doing something that makes a difference.
You know, your point is so well taken, Thomas, because today, more than any other time in our culture, is that we have so many distractions. All the things you mentioned, and then throw in all the electronics. My God, every year there's something new, and we just don't have enough time to get it all accomplished. So you have to be able to carve out some time for yourself to figure it out.
You really do. You know, there's a buddy of mine who used to talk about just having everything in order. That was his thing. He's always talking about. He's like, I want to make sure everything's in order, everything. And, you know, He always kept his house like perfect. Everything on his car was updated and maintenance. So everything was just on task, on point all the time.
Sounds like a two.
Right. What's funny? I asked him, I was like, how is it you're able, I feel like you have everything in your life so put together. I said, how is that? And he said, it is my number one focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went on to say, while it's my number one focus to keep everything in my life together, I realize I've been using that as a way of avoiding what I should really be doing.
Yes, because when you focus on something like that, that's such a huge part of your life, you really are not focusing on some of the more important things, like, how to up-level yourself personally and professionally. I think that's something that a lot of career workaholics do. They spend all their time on only their work, and most of the time those folks are not expanded in their work. It's like singularly focused and spending 80 hours a week, and then there's nothing left.
That's I don't know if there's a conflict there for me, but I definitely see both sides of the coin, because I've seen people, there's so many people that are kind of business gurus, let's say Grant Cardone, Dan Pena, people that you see on YouTube that are very outspoken, have huge followings. They talk about sacrificing everything. And in fact, I saw a Dan Pena video recently. He said that Steve Jobs used to sleep in his office. Bill Gates slept in his office. He himself slept in his office like the first 10 years of their businesses. And while that is, apparently that's like the level of sacrifice that's needed in order to get where you want to be, sometimes I wonder what is missing or what isn't happening that should be happening because of that.
I look at it the opposite way. I'm looking at the sacrifice that would be made if they didn't do that.
Ah, okay. Explain that to me.
Well, if they didn't give what is conceived as a sacrifice to accomplish what they did, which are life-changing things.
And really world-changing.
World-changing things, that the sacrifice would be that it didn't happen.
Much greater sacrifice than a personal.
Yes, exactly. And it's
very
all
insightful.
In how you view the big picture. And most of the time, because I've taken a lot of heat for working a lot my entire life, even as a teenager. But I've also accomplished a lot. And, I hate to admit it, but I also had a good time out there doing whatever I wanted to do. So, work hard, play hard, and it all works out. But it's all to do with your purpose and your goals and what's important to you.
This is, a thing that I keep hearing as well, and it's I think, a very popular topic. People talk about kind of living their best life, and what does that mean for you?
Hey, honey, I'm living my best life.
Right, but that's the question. We see these things on social media where they talk about living your best life, and everyone has these different ideas about what it means, what it is to them. For them, it's you see these pictures of them doing some very specific things. But if you stop and think about it, the first 10 years of, these other people who have created these giant companies, for them, living their best life was, in fact, sleeping in their office, working on their business. It was their top priority, and what's the thing that you're so engrossed in? What's the thing that really stirs your soul, that really has tremendous energy for you to help propel you so that you can do something like that, where you can spend your time and effort and energy? That's a big question.
Well, and here's the thing is that people think that everyone should go along with their own idea and thought process. And the idea and thought process for one person isn't the same for another person. Like my best friend in high school and I, our dads grew up on the same street. They went to school together, small town,
Mm-hmm.
And, we were best friends in school, but yet I was working full time in a business environment and going to college, and she was on the hunt for her husband so she could start her family, and she was working as a cashier in a grocery store. And so our ideas of how we were spending our time was very different. But at the same time, we had a lot of fun together as best friends.
Yeah, what you're saying, you just can't really judge that one way or the other, right? As
Exactly.
long as, or you, I guess maybe you shouldn't judge it, or you can make a choice to judge it or not. But yeah, let people have whatever experience that they'd like to have.
And we're still best friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. I heard a Grant Cardone video just the other day, and he actually said you can marry more money in one day than you can make in one day. So I just want to let you know she might have had a real leg up on the competition there.
Well, I don't know. I told her not to marry him, and then 30 years later they got divorced. So,
hey, 30 years is something to be proud of, I think.
But the payoff was she has a beautiful family, 3 kids, grandkids, and is very happy. So, it all depends on what you want to do with your life. And the one thing that I understand that people don't really get is that people who work a lot in a business or on projects, it's not work for them. For those of us who enjoy what it is we're doing, it isn't work. And for others, it seems like work, and their job is work for them, but they just don't understand the concept that some of us really love what we do, and it doesn't feel like work to us. We need to come up with another word for it, Thomas.
Another word for work?
For work when it isn't work for us.
Yes. It's called fun.
Well, it is fun, but people don't get that. Fun work.
That's too funny.
Fun work. That's all I got today.
Too much. Listen, there are so many people right now that are probably listening to the show that are just rolling their eyes right now. I just want to tell you, they're like, listen, you two, stop. Work is work and fun is fun.
Take some Valium.
That's too funny.
Well, work for me has never been hard. I always figure out a way, as you know, Thomas, to make it happen. And sometimes other things in life are harder.
Well, you're really good about not judging yourself in the moment, and also really letting yourself, stay out of the pressure zone. Like, you don't put undue pressure on yourself. The only pressure you put on yourself is to get things done. And that's, you set realistic goals and you set realistic times to do them, and then you work on them constantly and consistently. And I think that's the magic, that you really create and you bring. And those are tremendous lessons to learn.
Thank you, Thomas. But I'll tell you the secret. Are you ready to learn the secret?
Yes, I'm ready. So is everyone listening. Please tell me the secret.
To not get stressed out and have to take Valium or any other of the things that people do to chill out.
Xanax. But
we know the list, right? And so the secret is to make sure you understand that goals are fluid. They're not carved in stone. You don't have to have the date written down and saying, this is going to happen on this date at this time, and, come hell or high water, it's going to happen. Well, it doesn't have to be like that.
Goals are fluid. Listen, that's the most valuable thing that I've heard today.
Thank you. Well, it's how I live.
And it's true. Absolutely. Goals are fluid, because if anyone listening today has had a life that has gone completely according to their plan, please call into the radio show immediately and we will take your call. But no one's had a life that's gone completely according to plan.
Okay, so now Rob needs a Xanax.
Well, I'm sure he's really manning the phone lines right now. They're going to be silent for a couple of days, Rob. Don't worry.
That's right. And that person out there who's found that out, you need to write a book on it. Yeah,
please tell us how it's done. We would love to know. And thank you so much for joining us this week. You heard from Melanie Channell earlier. If you want to reach out to her, go to heartworksnow.com. If you want to listen to some of our previous episodes, go to imaginemoresuccess.net, where you can see a list of all the episodes that we've done with the X Zone Broadcasting Network. And if you want to learn more about the courses that we offer, go to findhiddenmoney.com. We want to invite you to come back next week so you can continue to realize your dreams and to imagine more success.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com. How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hyde's life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking. Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hyde can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We're back. We are on today with Melanie Channell, who's a certified spiritual counselor and tarot reader, as well as numerologist. Melanie, we're so grateful to have you on today. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
Hey, Melanie.
Hi.
So glad you could join us today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Melanie, you've spent a lot of time helping clients of yours really achieve some success in their businesses. Take a moment and tell us a little bit about one of your clients that you helped.
I had a client who is actually quite psychic, and I had her in one of my tarot classes, and she at the time was just opening up to her gifts, and she had very little self-confidence, so she shut down in class. And I really helped her to understand that it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to get things wrong sometimes. I spent some time asking her questions and gave her some other perspectives to consider. I made her feel comfortable and that it's okay to not be perfect. There were no wrong answers.
And so once you had kind of worked with her through this process, what were kind of her end results?
Well, she told me that I was really the first person who gave her permission for it to be okay with not being perfect in any response that she gave. She really valued, my feedback, and I really valued her, feedback as a student, because I also learn just as much from them as they do from me. But after that conversation, she really trusted that it was okay to engage in the exercises that we were working on.
That's very cool. That's there's a big part of the early childhood development that's centered around that idea of whether or not someone kind of develops that fixed versus that growth mindset. And sometimes when we're in that kind of fixed mindset, the idea of being perfect and having to be perfect is very, very strong. Do you find that comes up a lot with people that are starting down this path?
Yes, I do. When we're children, most of us have psychic ability. And a lot of times it is when we start going to kindergarten and so forth, we shut down those abilities.
Well, my big takeaway from what your conversation was with your client was that you gave her permission to not be perfect. And, that's a big thing with Thomas, and we've included it in our courses, that having permission is really important because sometimes we don't feel it's okay. And I think that's a huge factor in training people, and hats off to you for helping that client with that great verbiage of giving permission.
Well,
Melanie, do you spend a lot of time working with numerology with clients?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Numerology is one of the first tools that I use with people because it really helps people to understand what their talents and challenges are, what kind of work that they could be good at, who they're compatible with. It's really a good life. It's like a blueprint of what energies you're going to be working with throughout your whole life.
And tell us a little bit more about what exactly numerology is.
It's a study of numbers and how it relates to your life. It starts with your birth date, and that's how you get your life path number, and that will show you what your talents and challenges are. Would you like for me to give you your life path number, Thomas?
Sure, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, so you would add up all of your numbers. So that'd be 12, 11, 1974, and your life path number would be 8. And so with this life path number, you're a very goal-oriented person. You're a good manager. You need to be the boss, both in work.
Too bad for me.
You need to be the boss. You like to be in charge. You're very organized, and also the 8, because of how it's like infinity and it goes down and then it comes back up. So the 8 actually signifies a karmic. The 8 can be a little bit karmic. So you always need to be in integrity with everything that you do. Otherwise, it's going to come back and bite you.
Yeah, I definitely feel that pull as well. Absolutely. Being in charge, oh boy, am I in trouble. There's a lot of places in my life I'm not in charge. It's too funny.
No, it's about you like to be in charge.
That's hilarious. Oh my God. Right. See, well, this is a very interesting part of numerology I was not aware of. Sometimes it's not the what, it's the what you might like. Very, very, very interesting. So I know also that that people utilize numerology I've heard about it being used like in military tactics. It's used in stock market analysis. I mean, how far down the rabbit hole does numerology go as far as a study?
Well, everything, is energy, and numerology is basically energy too. So, I mean, if you take the atom and you take matter and you take it all the way down, it winds up being numbers. I mean, basically. So, it goes pretty far. I mean, it being a blueprint for life. There is also like different times of your life in numerology that tells you this is the energy that you're supposed to be using. In other words, say the first part of your life, you have a 6, and that is showing you that you're, learning how to deal with family and how to love and all of that type of thing. So it actually can take you very far. People can, like if a manager learns a new employee's numbers, they can figure out where to place them, where they'd be the best fit.
Okay. That's a tremendous value. That's actually something we talked about with the lady who actually introduced us to the XZBN network, and that's Sharon Lynn Wyeth, who utilizes names for a very similar purpose. That has tremendous value there, so I can completely see where numerology can also assist with that as well.
Yes.
Very cool.
And you were also mentioning about master numbers. Can you share just a little bit about that?
Yes. Thomas has a master number for his birthday number, which is 11. And master numbers are a very high vibration because numerology goes from numbers 1 through 9. And then the master numbers are 11, 22, and 33. And once you get up above the 9, these people normally are very high strung, or they have a lot of energy. And sometimes they will go back down to the 2. So 11 would, 1 plus 1 is 2. So that could go back down to the 2. So when other people don't quite understand people that have master numbers and their core numbers a lot, because their vibration's lower. And so sometimes if you're in a group of people and you feel like you need to come down to the 2, you will go down to the 2 so that other people will understand you a little bit more. I don't know if you have felt sometimes in your lifetime that you're misunderstood on some level. It could be because you have a master number in your core numbers.
That's fascinating. I think a lot of people could probably identify with that. So maybe that's a big clue in for them. You know, maybe they have a master number in their core numbers.
Yes, that could be possible.
Tell me a little bit about one of your books, the book Heart and Soul.
Heart and Soul. Okay, that's an anthology. There's 24 women's stories and how they made a shift from living in their head or their ego to living in alignment with their heart and soul. These stories are really personal stories, and they share a lot of valuable lessons that we've all learned along the way. And so it's about, exploring forgiveness, releasing fear and loss, and awakening your creativity, access to angels and guides, and living authentically.
Do you find that utilizing numerology helps people to kind of get in touch with their own authentic living and living out their dreams? And how does that work?
Yes, I do, because it's basically a blueprint of what you wanted to learn in this lifetime. So numerology is based on reincarnation. So before we are born, we get together with our soul groups, so to speak, and we, it's a blueprint. We check off all these things that we want to learn and experience in this lifetime. So that's, what was the other question? I'm sorry.
No, that completely answers it. So once somebody has an idea then of what their blueprint is, they can make better choices about how to achieve it.
Exactly.
Okay, because
that really explains it, Thomas, why we're learning so darn much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's very interesting because I think one of the things that comes up for a lot of people is the idea that numerology is kind of saying that there's a bigger predetermination of your life than people would like to believe in. So then it's not something they're kind of open to. But I think hearing that explanation was fascinating for me because you still have choices. It's just that now you have a better understanding of what those choices may lead to or how you can best make choices based upon who you are as an individual.
And it also kind of gives you a roadmap if you're indecisive about what it is you're supposed to be doing or even want to do, and you get some material to study about what your numbers mean. I think it could open doors for people.
And we'll be back in just a moment on the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. Please stay tuned. How would your life change if you could develop the business and personal skills that you need in order to make more money? Do you want to learn how to achieve your big life goals faster? Then go to findhiddenmoney.com and get the Goal for It online course. The course teaches you how you can set and achieve your biggest goals while completely overcoming the roadblocks to your goals so that you can realize your dreams and imagine more success. Go to findhiddenmoney.com.
Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hides can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.